Chae had never expected her crush to reciprocate her feelings. She nervously waited for Moonbin's response, her heart pounding in anticipation. Moonbin cleared his throat before finally answering, looking at Chae with a shy smile. His response was one she hadn't expected and it flustered her. He explained that he had long known how she felt and that he had feelings for her too. His cuttingly honest confession left her completely speechless. Chae face immediately heated up in response and she nervously shifted her gaze away from him. It felt like the world was spinning around her. She was aware of the fact that Moonbin had seen her looking at him and was utterly flustered. She did not know how to respond. Moonbin then began to tease her, asking if she wanted to go on a date with him. She blushed upon hearing this and quickly shook her head. Although she tried to deny it, she was deeply disappointed that Moonbin hadn't asked her out himself. She had been hoping for something even if it was a joke. She glanced up at him, but found his gaze focused elsewhere, and she released a heavy sigh. Their conversation had gone in a direction she hadn't imagined. Moments later, Moonbin looked back at her and asked if she'd like to go for dinner. She smiled in joy as he continued to ask her out. Chae looked into Moonbin's eyes and responded without hesitation that she'd love to. His smile widened to match her own. As they shared a brief moment together, Chae felt an overwhelming sense of happiness and contentment. She knew that she had found the one for her. With the realization of her newfound love, came also the realization of a lifetime of joy and happiness ahead of them. The feeling was shared between them and they were both lost in the moment. The comfort they felt in each other's presence made them oblivious to the world around them. As they continued to chat, Chae couldn't stop herself from blushing. She had never felt more alive than she did in that moment. Suddenly, the sound of a bell broke them out of their trance. Chae smiled gently and stepped aside, unable to contain her joy. Before they parted ways, Moonbin looked into her eyes and promised he'd see her the next day. Chae smiled in response, barely able to contain her excitement. She watched him turn around and head out of the room, thinking about how her feelings had been reciprocated. She felt like she was dreaming. Chae felt like her life had unfolded in one beautiful moment and she was thankful to have found her soulmate. After walking for a few minutes, she couldn't help but continually replay her conversation with Moonbin in her head. She paused every now and then to let out a sigh of contentment and realized how much life could change in the blink of an eye. It was in those moments that she really came to appreciate life and felt thankful for the little things that made it beautiful. As the night began to fall, Chae returned to her home, reflecting on the day she had spent with her newfound love. Her heart felt light and her mind was at ease, and for the first time in a long time, she felt truly happy and content. She had finally found someone who had seen her for who she was and accepted her wholeheartedly. This was all she had ever wanted. As she lay in bed that night, she couldn't help but smile, thinking about all the wonderful things Moonbin and her had experienced that day.